Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings of peace and Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Welcome to this afternoon's insightful dialogue series. And I just wanted to, before introducing our today's speaker, to ask everyone if you are able to just to notice your device is on mute. And if you have any questions, do write it in the chat box so it will not be forgotten. It will definitely be addressed, So, and then of course at the end, I'm sure Sister Vinu is going to be interactive with everyone. She has always been known to be interactive. Now, our presenter for this very interesting and attractive topic is Sister Vinu. Originally she's from Malaysia, but she came to California to pursue her higher education, and she received her degree in biotechnology from the California Polytech University here in Pomona. And shortly after that, she started working, and she worked over 8 years in the field of brain research, working on memory and cancer, finding the vaccine, for tuberculosis and for melanoma, as she was working on it. And then, of course, even though she has been literally born into the Brahma Kumari's way of living and into this spiritual knowledge, and she remained throughout, an active spiritual student as well as server, both in Malaysia and in the United States. But it wasn't until actually 5 years ago that she has completely surrendered her time, her energy, her mind, her thoughts, all to live and serve through the Los Angeles Center of the Brahma Kumari's Raja Yoga Meditation organization. And for her, to have this blend of spirituality and science, what makes it, as a unique gift to her is that she's able to relate easily and naturally to people from all walks of life and all backgrounds. And as a result, she has been working with kids, she has been working with youth, teenagers, all the way up to elderly. Please mute your devices. Thank you. And she, because she was involved with all these different groups of people, and at the same time, she offered a lot of workshops, dialogues, seminars, in order to inspire everyone to reach their fullest and highest potential. So Sister Vinu wears many hats, and the teaching hat, representing the Brahma Kumaris at the Interfaith Association of Southern California hat, but also she wears the hat of the cook. She loves cooking, she loves baking, she loves preparing. If when I get hungry and I call her and I say, Sister Vinu, can you please prepare something for me? Instant. One time I came to see her, and I came with family, and there was nothing available. She said, wait, just give me 5 minutes. And I don't know, in 15 minutes, she created a feast for us. So that's her specialty. And this is why, because she's such a great example of how to integrate spirituality, even and especially into the day-to-day activities, such as cooking and eating. And therefore, we are going to be hearing the conscious cooking. So enjoy the presentation. Without further ado, dear Sister Vinu, let's get cooking.
Om Shanti. Well,
Om Shanti, Sister Vino.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So
Om
I
Shanti.
guess from conscious eating we went to conscious cooking. But both are very interrelated, isn't it? Cooking and eating both are very interrelated. Cooking is definitely very close to my heart. Being a scientist, my job was to work in the lab. And so now kitchen has become my lab. I experiment with different varieties of recipes, create some of my own recipes. I guess it's the passion. I would really say it's the passion that drives me. And I think coming from a neuroscientific background, that makes me to understand energetically, vibrationally, what food has, how it impacts souls. Because, you can give a 1 hour lecture to someone and you can just feed them 5 minutes food. Which one do you think would affect them more? Right? I think the food would directly hit them much quicker than a 1 hour lecture, right? I think all of us, we know that for food, for sure, what food does to us. So in today's session, in fact, thank God, Sister Lisa reminded me that I'm supposed to teach. Can you please mute yourself? Yes, thank you. So there's no any interruption. So in fact, Sister Lisa reminded me about this workshop 2 days ago. I didn't even realize that I was supposed to teach. Just slipped my mind. But thank you, Sister Lisa, for that. I've just made some, just very simple slides, information, and I'll show you 2 very important videos that's very much pertaining to food on a holistic level. So before we start our session, shall we take a few moments of meditation so we can gather ourselves and be here with our spirit and with our body? So let's settle down.
Great idea. Thank you.
So please mute yourself and let us physically settle down. And let us tune in within. And let us check, how am I doing internally right now? What am I thinking? Or what am I feeling right now? And very gently, let me tell my mind, at this moment, I would like to be present in this session. All your needs will be met after this session. And now, let me bring my focus to my present, to this class right now. Om Shanti. So before I begin, just wanted to ask you, what do you think conscious eating or eating consciously means to you?
To eat with full attention, presence of mind. Focus.
Either full attention. Okay. Yes.
Not
When
doing anything else while eating. Means remembering only Baba. Every what you call, one mouthful you take. Thank you, Baba.
Okay. So Baba really means just God. So let us use the word God here so that we all are able to understand what we each other are sharing. Sister Gopi, you are raising your hands.
Yeah. When I'm eating, I'm in present moment.
Okay. Present moment. And someone wrote here in the chat, making healthy choices. That's a good one, making healthy choices. So,
Chew well.
I'm sorry?
You have to chew well.
Chew well. Okay. Chew well. So let's go and let's find out what is it.
Is it another word is that something happen and you are just keep thinking about that? Is conscious eating too? That you are doing something and keep just coming up?
So let us find out. That's a
Okay.
good question. I think as we go through today's session, you probably would arrive to that answer yourself. You'll get your answer soon enough. So just wanted to go through with you what conscious eating is. And even the word conscious, it's actually a Latin derivation. It means to know or to understand. And it definitely requires observation and attentiveness. And this means paying attention to what, how, and when you eat, as well as your digestive experience. And when I say your digestive experience, personally, you would know how much intake is necessary for you, how much food is necessary for you. Are you full? Are you half full? Or you are overeating? You would know. All of our intakes will be very different, but you will have to be in tune with your body to understand this aspect well, so that we don't go overboard and not creating, unnecessary body pains, illnesses. And food also has mental effects. So let's see what else food has in store for us. I'm seeing something in the chat box. Eating with awareness. Wonderful. Savoring the food. Feed yourself every bite in awareness of like feeding God. Wonderful. Wonderful answers. So how do I know that I'm actually not eating consciously? And what are the symptoms, the signs? First is physical symptoms. Overweight is very obvious. Surface level, very obvious. But sometimes this, late night munching. I may not be hungry, but just to feed my mood. We could be eating in front of TV. We could be watching something. We could be talking while eating. So these are physically, when I do this while I'm eating, what effect it does to me. And then we have the mental symptoms, which is preferences that I have, the food choices. Example here, we always stop at Yogurtland on the way home, or I always buy popcorn when I'm watching movies. So these are like very subconscious, subtle preferences that we have created, like a comfort zone that we've created for us. Now, if it's once in a while, it's okay. It's like we're taking a cheat sheet, or, like taking a vacation, giving a break for myself. But if this pattern is very consistent throughout and it's quite regular, then it is something for me to reconsider. Is this healthy? And then third, emotional symptoms. eating to calm our emotions or to find distractions. An example, childhood injuries, when a child falls down and then comes running to the parents, and then parents, they put Band-Aid, and then they give a cookie or a candy to distract the pain. So then, then we start associating cookies or candies as a mean to distract ourselves from hurt, from pain. And these are all certain habits that we sometimes grow up with it from childhood, and then it goes into adulthood. And now we are thinking back, what are those habits in me that is helping me towards growing into a healthy being? And what are those habits in me that I feel it is not helping me? And I feel that it is causing me some level of harm mentally, physically, and it is time that I change it. You'll have to check that for you. We all are in different scales. We all have different habits. So you will have to check that personally for you. When self-esteem is positive, confidence is strong, we are far more conscious of eating. When you're happy, you eat less. When you're very satisfied, you actually eat less. When we feel vulnerable and when our self-esteem is low, then we are less conscious. Then we tend to either eat more, sometimes we turn to junk food. Sweet, it could be junk food in terms of sweet or savory or salty. The junk food that doesn't really have much nutrients in it. So these are signs, for me to check, am I really eating healthy? Or sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. It's a personal checking point, so I'm leaving that up to you for you to do your checklist. But I'm just introducing, these are the ideas that you need to check on within yourself. And now this is very important question. Do you think your state of mind, energy of your thoughts during cooking and eating impacts your body? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And how about the others? I heard familiar voices that said yes. How about the other voices?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Brother
Yes.
Manik said yes. Hello, Brother Manik. How are you? I remember you. I recognize you from the interfaith meetings that we used to attend together.
Thank you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine.
Yes. So Brother Manik is quite a very frequent guest, and that we always have a lot of the programs. So now coming back to the, eating habits, I was asking that question, whether the energy, power of thoughts that we are having while we are eating and while we are cooking, does that impact us? And for that, I just wanted to show you one scientific video. As Sister Lisa said, I love to bridge science and spirituality, and it makes us understand much better. And having a solid ground, a solid understanding, motivates us to be more aware in what we are eating. So I'm going to pull up that video. Okay. How many of you have heard Emoto? The scientist called Emoto. He's a Japanese scientist, and he did experiments on water.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to give a short video. I'm going to give a short video on this, and then I will elaborate further after we watch the video.
Is there supposed to be any sound?
Oh, you're not able. Just give me a moment. Let me replay. Can you hear this now?
Yes, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
In this experiment, Dr. Emoto's researchers used a glass of Tokyo tap water, which seems to be unable to form crystals, and performed a test. Participants placed the glass in the center of their circle and sent gratitude to the water. Studying the water under the microscope, they started to see a crystal formation. Increased magnification showed the symmetry of the crystal, revealing how the tap water was transformed by the gratitude sent by the group. The crystal continued to grow, expressing the energies received. The tap water from Tokyo finally produced a beautiful crystal.
It was interesting to see children so completely astonished after they witnessed the difference in Tokyo tap water, before and after they sent the prayer. Their mothers were kind of skeptical before this experiment. But afterwards, they said, we really have to believe it.
Okay. So that was a brief introduction to how our power of thoughts actually impact water molecules. And in fact, if I were to explain to you deeper, where do these thoughts come from? Where do you think these thoughts are coming from?
Conscious and subconscious mind.
Okay, so we can say the thoughts are coming from the mind. And then we can go a little further.
Right.
Yes, vibrations are definitely coming from thoughts. And the thoughts are being made, created by our mind. And now if I were to ask you, where is this mind coming from? Is this mind part of the body? Is it an organ?
It's our Atma,
Soul.
our soul.
Is the part of the soul.
We can say soul, we can say spirit, we can say point of light or energy, however you may call it. But definitely mind is part of the being. That's why we say human and being. Human refers to this mortal body, being refers to the life force, or just for simple understanding here, moving forward, I'll use the term soul. So mind is part of the soul, and soul is very subtle. It's an energy. Now, how can the soul communicate with the brain, which is physical? Something non-physical, how can it communicate with something that's physical?
Through senses, through our thoughts.
Senses are again physical, but your senses are receiving communication from your brain.
Thought.
So your brain,
Thoughts.
yes, thoughts.
Emotion.
So,
Vibration?
okay.
Vibration.
Vibration, thoughts. So it's coming from the soul, but the soul is communicating with this brain, which is physical, through, we call it the electromagnetic field of energy. And this is also defined scientifically, which it's a long documentary. If you want, I would type it here in the chat box. You can definitely see this documentary. It's a recent scientific research that was done. I wouldn't say too recent, maybe I would say about 8 to 10 years old, but for science, it's definitely a recent finding for them. And the soul, which is energy, which is us, how do we communicate with this body is first with the brain, because it's the brain that's sending the signal to the body. And so the soul is communicating with the brain through thoughts, meaning through energy, which we call it electromagnetic energy. And then once the brain receives the signal, and how the brain receives the signal is that, if you go right here in the center, if you slice your brain in half and you see one half of it in the microscope, you will see that there are four main glands, four main networks that control your whole body. And these glands, networks, they meet at an intersection. And that intersection under microscope, it's a very, very hollow space, because soul is an energy which can't be seen in microscope. But that is exactly where you are, and you're operating these glands, and you're sending messages to the body. And why I wanted to share this, because it is very necessary for us to know that the energy that I am experiencing is very much self-created. And the energy that I'm experiencing is not just happening here, but it takes a toll on the body. And there is a field of study that's called psychosomatic. It means every different emotions attack or affect different areas of your body. So I'm going to go to that, and then I'm going to say what that has in connection with the food that we eat. So let me pull up the slides again. So over here, this is a very, very famous studies. In fact, a lot of a lot of scientists are actually, a lot of groups, researchers are doing this study, this research. This particular research, this particular project was done over 23,000 of subjects, people that they studied from, and that was from all over the world, from different culture and different countries and different regions, just to know whether the effect in the body, is it consistent with the feelings that they're having? And then finally, this chart was done, this body mapping was done. And if you see, there are, so many colors in there. I wrote here the warm colors, red to yellow. It indicates those parts of the body where the participants experience the feelings more strongly. And if you see up above there are different emotions: anger, fear, disgust, happiness, sadness, surprise, and neutral. So when participants and how they experienced these feelings, they were subjected to, listening to particular words, watching particular movies, listening to different music. And then the researchers studied, did questionnaires, asked them, what were you experiencing? And it took about some time to finally come to a solid mapping that is consistent for everyone. And this is what the areas that are red, those were the areas that the participants could feel the effect much quickly. And then the dark areas, the cold colors, are parts that they sensed the effect of these feelings a little later, weekly, a little later. And so if you see, happiness is a feeling that's running throughout the whole body. It is making the body very much, I wouldn't say sensitive, but I would really say alive. I would really say feeling alive, feeling present. And if you see anger, it is accumulated again in some parts, like from a 6-year-old. And here the ages are also shown because they studied this on different ages of people. And in a young child, the effect is less, but in an older child, an adult, the effect is more. But definitely the pattern is increasing from a 6-year-old, the same child. As it grows up, it is now the anger is taking a toll gradually in the body also. Either they are living with parents or in a family that has anger issues, or they're constantly exposed to people who are having this anger issues, or constantly listening to media in many ways. But just generally, I would like you to see how your feelings, your emotions are definitely taking a toll on this body. And so understanding this helps me now to figure out, okay, if I'm having these pains, sometimes I'm not clear, what am I feeling? I'm not sure what am I feeling. But sometimes looking at your body and seeing where are these pains, these aches that you're experiencing. And then from that, you can get an idea, well, what am I really feeling? Because if I have a very mixed emotions in me, I wouldn't even be able to pinpoint and say, what is it that I'm actually feeling? I feel confused. I feel mixed. I don't know if I'm upset. I don't know if I'm angry, but I'm definitely not feeling comfortable. So that is why I put this mapping here for you to understand. Maybe from your body pain and illness, you can figure out subconsciously what is happening within you. This is one. So now that I know that my energy is not just affecting me mentally, but also physically, Now the question comes, what is it that I can do for my well-being? What measurements should I take for my well-being? And throughout the whole day, the biggest activity that we all do is eating. Eating is one thing that we do quite frequently, at least 3 times a day or 2 times a day. And so how can I target that? How can I, if I am a foodie, okay, that's probably I'm eating even more in a day. But how can I target to have the right energy from my food source? So that is the question that we are trying to figure out in this session. And for this, food is categorized in 3 categories. According to Ayurveda, that's your sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. These are all the categories of food. And what do these different categories impact that it does? If you see, sattvic diet promotes love, awareness, joy. Rajasic, stimulating effect on the body. Tamasic, dull effect in the mind. And so sometimes, we have to check which category am I consuming more in a day, and then check what effect it is happening, it is giving to your mind and then to your body. So one is choosing the right food. And even if we are choosing the right food, we could be eating organic grains and vegetables, but that alone is still not enough for a good, healthy life. There is much more also. Organic, good food, clean food, fresh food, yes, necessary, but there is also a little extra step to it. Positive, negative vibration. Can we increase the size of the text? Okay, so this is actually a PDF. I am unable to increase the size of this, but I can send it out in the email so you can see this text enlarged. So what I'm going to do now is, it's another chat. Pitch out, okay. Okay, I am unable to do that. Okay, anyhow, I'm gonna go to the next, is that, as I said, what we eat does matter, but also where is the food coming from, meaning how it is prepared. And for that, I'm also again going to show you a short video. I think video speaks much louder than me explaining this. So I am going to pull up that video. These are all my favorite videos that I always keep and I use for when I'm teaching the Raj Yoga course, meditation course. Let me now play this video. It's called Metaphysics. So not this. Okay.
We just experiment with sattvic diet because jaisa ann vaisa man. Now sattvic is not just only vegetarianism, but sattvic is the state of mind of the person cooking the food and then state of mind of the person eating the food. So food and water both absorb vibrations. So let's say we do it with this glass, okay? Where does the water come from? One, this water is in the city. While it's there where it is in the city, this water has absorbed the vibrations of the city. So now what's there in this city? So there's stress, there's anxiety, and a lot of emotions. That's there in this water now. Then this water is on the terrace in the water tank of this building. What's the vibration here? It's here. Now when it comes to me and I say, okay, clean glass, copper glass, and clean water, and I drink it, I've not just consumed water, I've also consumed all those vibrations. And now what we do is 10 seconds, pause, connect to the Supreme, and put a very high energy sentence into this. I could say whatever I want for every day, my sankalp. I put my sankalp in the water and food. So let's.
So again, just to clarify some of the terms, sankalp means thoughts. So even the, throughout the video, if you hear the word sankalp, she's meaning thoughts.
I'm working on my sanskar of peace. So I will put in this, I am a peaceful being and I'm child of the ocean of peace. My every thought, word and action radiates peace. 10 seconds. In absolute silence, I put this in 10 seconds. When I do this, I've raised the vibration of the water. Now this water has converted into Amrit.
Okay.
What's the difference?
So Amrit means nectar.
Between water and Amrit? Somebody put in a very high energy word for us, but I cannot get Amrit throughout the day. So I have to learn to convert my every glass of water into Amrit. And we really, really need to do this nowadays because there's so much of emotional upheaval. It's all there in our food and water. So everybody make it a practice to pause for 10 seconds, which we were all taught, that connect to him before you start eating. Offer gratitude before you start eating. It actually meant connect to him and invoke his vibration into that to cleanse the vibration of from where the food has come, who's cooked it. So same with cooking. While cooking, the kitchen should be like a temple. You know why we all love the prasad, the langar in the gurdwara? Why do we like it? Even
so prasad means, food like in holy places, food that is cooked and offered to God first, and then it's being served. So, any food that's offered from the holy places, that is called prasad.
it would be very simple food, and you go to a restaurant, it's a very elaborate meal. So there are 3 types of meals. One is when we are eating food outside, where you're paying for the food. So when you're paying for the food, the person cooking the food is you eat, I earn. So if I am cooking for profit, then money is my intention, the intention behind the karma. Now, when you eat that food, you will get connected to money. The reason why most of us are like money, it's because we're eating out a lot. We're eating lots food cooked with the intention of earning money. So one category of food. Second is who was cooking that? What was their state of mind? Were they having any problems at home, any anxiety? It's all there in my food. So one is the intent of money, and second, the emotional state of the person cooking the food. That's one type of food. Second is at home, where the mother is cooking for you. When every mother of the house was cooking for us, because sometimes nowadays it's not, but when every mother was cooking every meal, we were an emotionally healthy society. And if today every mother goes back to that half an hour in the kitchen, she will be gifting her family emotional health. It's as simple as that, because she cooks with so much love, so much purity, so much peace. But the mother should not cook with stress and anxiety. Then it's not sattvic. So the mother should convert her kitchen to like a temple, have bhajan, have kirtan, have chanting, anything, whatever.
So bhajan and kirtan, really refers to listening to songs or any chanting that is in reference to God. Very spiritual, creating a spiritual atmosphere while cooking. So that's what she's saying. Don't cook while watching something or talking to somebody, but create that spiritual atmosphere while cooking to enhance the energy in the food.
Comfortable for her and cook in that state of mind. And while cooking, you are either, creating the right sankalp, you're connecting to the soup. Now that food is not food. Now that is prasad. So let's not eat only this much prasad. Our every meal can be prasad. So the third is where food is cooked as prasad in the temple or langar. What is the intention there? The first, the intention was, what do I get from you? Second, last intention is seva, to give. So if you eat food which has been cooked with the intention to give, you will become a soul which will give. If you eat food cooked with the intention to get, we will become souls who always want to get. So just change the food and a lot's going to change there. So food and water, 10 seconds pause. Don't eat or drink anything without putting your sankalp. Even as simple as I am a Satyugi soul, put it in everything you eat and drink. Aura will start changing. But food and water, both. And so definitely not tamasic food. And no eating food while watching television, while phone on the side. No other information should be going in. No discussing problems at home. No having corporate meetings over lunch. It's very simple. 10 minutes of eating. After that, we can do everything. Food takes less than 10 minutes. And ideally, it should be in silence. That's mindful eating. Or if you're sitting with family, then only happy conversations. That's not the time to discuss problems. That itself will change the vibration of the house. So where every meal we eat is prasad, where water we drink is amrit, where what we read early morning is gyan, the house will become a temple and the world will become Satyug.
Okay. So I guess you sort of summarized everything, right? It's not about what we cook, but also how we cook. But then again, if I'm cooking meat or again, tamasic category food, then no matter how much positive vibration you put, it's not going to have much impact. Definitely sattvic vegetarian food. Again, I can bring up the clip. Sattva, highest, purest. It has high energy food. Rajasic, tamasic, it is very, I would say, depleting. It depletes the energy of the body. Definitely, it impacts the soul also. So cooking the food in positive vibration also create not just impact for you, but when you cook, your family eat. So if you would like to see your family being happier or peaceful or anything that you would like to see harmony in your family, then start with food, because food seeps into the soul. You know, the taste of the food stays on the tongue, on the tongue just for a few days, but the energy of the food stays in the soul for a lifetime. So it's high time, and now with this current situation, I'm sure a lot of you are definitely cooking, I hope, at home. And so these are techniques for you. And here in the next slide, I'm going to show you tips for preparing food while in a peaceful frame of mind. Number one, take a shower to cleanse the energy you may have picked up during the day. Now, if you have gone out and maybe do a grocery shopping, buy something, and then you come back, it's very helpful that you take a quick shower, all those energies cleanse out, and then you go to the kitchen and you cook. And then number two, if you feel you want to listen to something, then only listen to what is like helpful, not news, definitely not news. You can turn on gentle music or any spiritual songs that can help you to be more peaceful and more relaxed, and even be very connected even with God, with the Supremes. And then you set the intention to make your mealtime preparation a quiet meditative process. Stay present and you enjoy the silence. So here in the center, staying in the center, there are two other sisters who live with me. So they do know that when I'm in the kitchen, I don't interact as much. And definitely I prioritize silence in the kitchen. So if anybody is talking while I'm cooking, I usually would tell them, especially if they're discussing, any situations, I would tell them, please, you can, speak in the living room or in the classroom, but not when I'm cooking in the kitchen. Definitely not these conversations in the kitchen. I'm quite serious about that. And if when I'm cooking, if I get a phone call and if I had to answer, then I pause the cooking, answer, finish the conversation. And if the conversation is going to be long, then I would tell them that, I'm cooking right now, so I will call you back once I'm done. I don't like to juggle up because, again, what you are talking, even what you are listening, all those are creating thoughts. And so the thoughts then coming from your hand, and you are inputting that thought, that vibration to the food that you are making. And so it's very important, make it silence or soothing, gentle music, or, anything that makes you feel, peaceful. Meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, or just basically, if you are, if you are not in the right mood, not in the right, you're stressed or something is bothering your mind, just take a little time out, let go, or finish that out, and then come and cook. Do not cook under emotions. It's not helping me, and it definitely wouldn't help the family who's going to eat the food. So here I put, nurture a very simple thought that I, the soul, I'm cooking for God's beautiful angels. So all your family members are all God's children. They are all unique, beautiful angels. So let me cook in that awareness that I am serving God's angels. I'm serving special souls. Then you enter the kitchen with the intention of, preparing the best. And you hold that experience as you prepare your meal, and take a few moments of silence before you cook. So this is where, and you invite God into the kitchen. Invite the Supreme Source into the kitchen to add pure energy, spiritual love to your food. So then again, remember what in the video that you heard, prasad. Prasad means holy food, food that is cooked with spiritual vibrations. So we don't have to eat ordinary food. We have the opportunity to cook simple food, but with high thinking. Now that food becomes a holy offering. And that is the food that you offer to your family. And every day, every meal, every day, as you keep doing this, you would definitely see a lot of difference in your family, with your family members, and definitely the vibration in your house. So this is how, this is what she meant, making your home like a temple, like a holy place, happiness and peace and joy and respect, patience, everything you start from food. And then tips for eating while in a peaceful frame of mind. While you eat, you simply eat and be fully present. Resist the urge to check your cell phones, search the web. Set the intention to eat calmly, not to gallop. Chew each bite at least 20 times. If you eat calmly and silently, you'll be able to count how many times you're chewing. And people, dietitians, doctors have they've also said that chew your what do they say, that chew well, so that in each chew that you do, the enzymes in your saliva gets mixed in the food, then it digests much quicker and better in your digestive tract. By counting the bites, you not only improve your digestion, but you actually become present and focused. Now, someone said chewing it 40 times. Okay, if you can chew 40 times, great. But if you can chew 20 times, that's fine too. But really the basic understanding here is to be more focused, because when we are doing things fast, we sometimes lose focus. And then number two, before you eat, in your ways, however, that you would do your prayers for chanting, or just an internal feeling of gratitude. You can thank God, you can thank the farmers who provided, all this food, created all this food, and then it came to your table. So just a sense of gratitude, it will keep us more grounded, and it would keep us more appreciative of what we are having, and rather than taking things as an advantage. Can I show a 2-minute video when you are done? Okay, sure. So this is what I wanted to share about conscious eating. So again, it's not just about what you eat, but how the food is prepared. So if for those of you who have not been cooking much, now is the time. If you really prioritize family and the well-being of your family, then you can start experimenting in the kitchen. I still remember when I started cooking, I was 9 years old, because my parents, they were working, and my siblings, we all had different school timings. I'm the youngest. And so sometimes, my mom would, my school sessions were afternoon sessions, or sometimes morning sessions. So sometimes when I come back home, I see my mom, she's very tired, and she's resting because of her, multiple jobs. So sometimes I don't have the heart to wake her up, even if there's nothing in the fridge. So I would just munch on like cookies or chips and go on. And once my elder brother came home from school, and then he saw me and he said, "Well, what are you eating?" I said, "Lunch." And then he was like, he felt so bad. And then he looked at the fridge, there was nothing. And then he said, "Vino, you should be independent. You shouldn't depend on mom. You shouldn't depend on dad. They are busy and they will be tired. So you need to learn to take care of yourself." And I was so short. I'm still short, but I was shorter much more. I was much shorter back then when I was 9. So what he did was he put a stool for me in front of the stove, so I could stand on the stool and I could look at the pot. And the first dish that he taught me was cooking fried rice. That was the first dish that he taught me. And then he taught me how to chop the veggies and making sure I use the knife properly. And it came out well. And then, but of course, he was a little skeptical of me cooking when I'm alone, because still young. But most of the time when he was there, he always made sure that I do the cooking and he's watching. So then that's how I learned. And another priority has always been in my home is that my mom will never allow us to come into the kitchen until and unless we've taken our shower. Meaning if we've stepped out, we've gone out, or if we had, gone through bowel movements, definitely shower is first, and then we step into the kitchen and we do the cooking. So this has been childhood practices that we've had. And now as I look back, those practices that we've had definitely has influenced, shaped my mind, my perceptions, my personality. And so that's why I was just, sharing. These are some of the ideas, ways how you can help not just you, but your family. Does anyone have any questions? Yes. No questions. I guess no questions.
Sister, I have a question. I love to cook and I cook the exact way you are mentioning, but my children refuse to eat. They don't like desi food.
Okay.
Because they are born and grew up in America.
Okay.
So entire school is eating different foods and then they are getting concepts from there.
Okay.
So I am still feeding them because they are young. I'm telling them you have to eat no matter what. But I know that's not gonna go longer.
Okay. So then mommy has to change the menu at home. I guess you can go to YouTube and cook something that they like, but you can add healthy ingredients and you can introduce if let's say they are they like burgers or they like fries or they like pizzas, so it will make a lot of difference when you start making them. You can start experimenting with new food, variety of food, and then they'll start enjoying it. Just, yes, definitely all of us will have different taste buds, but just understanding what is their preferences, and you just try to do it at home.
Okay, thank you.
Sister Vinod, I have a question. If you look at the India population, 80% of the people are living in rural area. How they know all these ethics, like how to prepare, what to observe during the preparation, what to follow during the eating. We need to educate the public first, right? And how we expect everybody to follow the footsteps of preparing and eating.
So that is probably that could be done in the long run, but I guess the first priority right now is the self. Instead of eating out, consume more at home, and you would see a lot of differences. Because again, people who run businesses, it's very profit based, right? It's more of taste based. It's more of the serving sizes. So they're more of concerned about that. They may not have as much concern. I'm not saying not all of them, but not for the most part. A lot of businesses, this is something like becomes a less priority compared to what would give them more profit. And you see, they are hiring workers, right? They are hiring workers. We can never really manipulate someone else to think in a particular way, to feel a particular way. So when you have workers, there's, different people will have different issues going on in their life. We cannot predict that. We cannot control that. So might as well I be very much aware of what I am actually putting in my body, because I would know in what feelings or emotions I'm cooking my food. So I will be more aware. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So Brother Manik, he said, my wife would tell our little daughter whatever we eat or go hungry. So eventually she started liking our Indian style food. And today she even cooks that way. Well, good job. Anyone else would like to share before we, there's one more video? If no, then we can go ahead with that video.
Chocolate, I hear you say. Ice cream, I could eat it every day. Chips, oh what a lovely treat, but not that good to eat. Cake, so nice and sweet. Hot dogs, well they make a lovely treat. Hamburgers, okay once in a while, but that food won't make you smile. You'll be in a good mood with healthy food. Fruits and vegetables, grains will help you grow. You'll have energy
Okay, I think that's wrapping up with a little bit of a little touch of fun. Is there anyone else have any questions? I guess no questions.
I couldn't hear anything. So
you couldn't hear anything?
Yeah, I had no audio.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. But somehow you were able to read the words, right?
Yeah, I did see. And yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we finished a little early today. And if you would like to join us every day, we have meditation, 6:30 to 7:30, Monday through Sunday. You're most welcome to join us every day. And now what I'm going to do is, shall we go to a short meditation before we go into that main meditation? Yes?
Yes,
We can go
please.
for a short meditation. Sure.
Yes, please.
And what I'm going to do is I am going to put the light, because here in Brahma Kumaris, we meditate to the light. So I'm going to on the screen, I'm going to put the light. And so you can, I wouldn't say stare at the light, but you can just gently keep your eyes focused on the light. And you can try to follow the commentary that I'll be giving in the background. It's like a journey of thoughts that I will be introducing to you, and you can just try to follow. So let me bring out the light. So sit back, keeping your body relaxed. If you are physically holding anything, you can keep everything aside and just relax your body. And now, just for a few moments, let us step within us. And let me allow the sense of trust to emerge from within me. I trust my life. I trust myself. Everything that I need, I already have within me. Everything that I need to know, I will receive the answers. Every purpose that I am meant to fulfill, I will fulfill it. So I trust in my life, and I trust myself. I trust that I have the ability to uplift my family and friends. I trust that my pure and beautiful powerful vibrations will touch them. My deep love and my generous heart will uplift many souls. I allow the Supreme Being to work His magic through me. I am a very precious child of the Supreme, and so are everyone. I am being given this beautiful ability to serve them, and I trust that I can do my best. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So all of you chefs out there, cook up wonder in your family. Cook up a storm of wonder for your family, and you all are beautifully going to influence every family members, and you are definitely going to create a temple in your home. You're going to create beautiful vibrations in your home for your family. It's not just a mother's duty, but even a father can be a mother too, right? And I'm sure Brother Manik is one. Okay.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.